Hey everyone, sorry, my fan's blowing. Okay, so essentially, right, I've been doing some stuff with school, and, so I took a little break of flipa-clip. I came back. Some of you may not know, but the entire app has changed. Very drastically, I might add. So we're just on here now, and we're just going to test out a couple of the features, do a little experimental type thing. And right now, just little short clip. This isn't part of Booger Bros or anything. Just a little short clip of like an alien type thing, just waving at the camera. I'm not sure why. I just thought it would be kind of fun to animate. So yeah, let's probably try and do that. Right then, let's go. So first thing you immediately notice is this layer situation, which I have a couple of things to say about this. The first thing is, before you had, like, lots of layers, and that's fine, but they all, like, conjoined, and you can Control-C, Control-V it in one frame. Now, if you, let's say, have 3 layers, which I'll need for this, as I like to do myself some eye movements, which is what I'm doing now, and, yeah, so essentially, instead of Control-C, Control-V-ing one frame to get the entire thing, you need to do each individual layer per frame, which is essentially, at times, can be like 5 times the amount of Control-C, Control-V, and considering how many frames are just in animation, that will take a long time. Like, a very tedious amount of time. Also, I don't know why I'm struggling a little bit with putting this eyeball here. I don't know why. I mean, yeah. Another thing you might notice in a couple of my animations is these little eye dart movements. I put in occasional little eye darts whenever the characters move, whenever some of my characters, like, move their eyes. They're like, oh, what's happened here? Well, free promotion, everyone. Yay. Anyway, yeah, so I put in these little, they're essentially just, like, show, like, quick little movements between the eyes, and they work quite well at times. It's not working too well here. I feel like they're a little bit unnecessary. Maybe if we just move these eyes a little bit to the left. This is the first time I've, like, shown my animation process. And like, I think someone asked me to do it before. I can't particularly remember, but I'm doing it anyway, so yeah. Anyway, so now what we're going to try and do is work on the actual wave, because the alien characters noticed the camera. And we essentially, sorry about the creaking, by the way, if you can hear that. My chair's very creaky, it's like breaking. So yeah, yet again, another example of the Control-C, Control-V thing being slightly confusing. I have no idea why there are eyeballs in that frame instead of layer 3, but it's all a little bit weird. Anyway, now we can start, like, dragging this up a little bit more, and with the arm anyway. And what we want to do, we just want to basically make the arm turn upwards, and this is like a basic little turny upwards kind of thing. So it kind of looks like that a little bit, and then what I do, I kind of redraw the arms, and I kind of like give them like curves, so it looks like it's like a I can't show you what my hand is doing right now, but it looks like a floppy hand movement, like it's going upwards instead of just like this stiff arm movement going up, which is essentially what it is. Now we're just gonna, I forgot I had that on. Yeah, I was just checking if the pens were still the same. So yeah, you want a bit of like wonkiness in the arm to show like how it's. I'm just trying to do that now. It's, yeah, kind of like this. One frame of like stiffness is fine, but see, that kind of like shows how it kind of flops up a little bit more than just stiff movement upwards. If you know what I'm saying is making sense right now. Right, now we get to the important bit, the actual wave of the arm. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to, like, essentially move it back and forward. Yeah, kind of like this. And that should give off a waving motion. Of course, after this all, I will, like, add a little bit of, like, motion blur essentially, and just yeah, so it will make the movements look, that doesn't look the best. One thing I'm noticing is that it looks too like stiff, like I'm only moving that bit of the arm. And also it's not moving far enough. Like people wave quite like openly, not just like a little movement, which is what our character here is doing. So what I'm doing is just basically deleting these in-between frames, but that's not really right, is it? So what I want to do is like conjoin these joints up a little bit more, and like have a little bit more thwomp in between them, because that doesn't look like a little bit more outwardsness, while also at the same time looking natural, even though this is a weird alien character I've created for no reason. Yeah, something along the lines of that would be okay. It looks fine, but as though it's not like this is anything official, so just... Or this isn't anything for Booger Bros, by the way. I am trying to work on Booger Bros, but right now I don't really want to... even though like I have been learning flipa-clip along the way by doing Booger Bros, it's not like it's a separate thing from that. So yeah, I didn't want to really experiment like what was essentially like hours, like waste like hours work by accidentally like deleting it or something. So but it's not too hard to use in hindsight. So yeah, I've added them like motion blurs here. This probably won't be too much of an interesting video. It's just something I'm making for me, just so I can probably remember this, honestly. Yeah, so this can... And then we're going to put that a little bit more outwards, and... that's nice. That's nice right there. Another little thing I've noticed is that, you know when, like, people wave at people, usually means they're, like, smiling, and I don't know why, I didn't give this person a mouth, so we can't really present that. So what we're gonna try and do, we're gonna try, like, you know when, like, people smile, their, like, eyelids, like, go up slightly? I'm gonna try to, like, portray that in animation. But also at the same time, I'm not the best at doing that, because whenever I do that, I don't know why, it tends to look just a bit like they're going crazy a little bit. I have a very strange problem with that. Like, whenever I'm just, like, doodling, I'm like, oh, I'll give this character a little smile, and it's just like, ugh, that's weird. But seeing as they don't actually have a smile, I think that's, you know, good. I think it's with the context where they're waving and they're happy, it looks more natural from when, you know, they're going absolutely, like, insane or something. So we're just going to try to, like... What I do whenever, like, I have something move up slightly, I just essentially do this, where I have one frame is the finishing frame, then I go backwards, do a frame where it's slightly lower, and then go back to a frame where it's slightly lower again. So we're just going to draw a very small little line here, and a very small little line here, and plop and plop. And that should make it look like it's going upwards. Yeah, like that. Okay. And another thing I'm noticing is that it ends quite, like, abruptly, so we might want to add just, like, a couple more frames in there just to show, like, the finishing thing. Add in a little bit more waving. Right, okay. Oh, okay, I've got it into full screen. And let's watch it. Now. Why isn't this working? Huh? Wait, there we go. I can see the play button. Yeah, it's quite good. It's not the best, but it's good for a little test animation, just testing out the new updates. Right, so I have a couple notes and then updates, of course. First one is, yet again, I hope there was a way of, like, there should be, like, a way of, like, selecting all of the layers to copy and paste as an individual frame, so I don't need to do, like, 3, 4, or even 5 times as much copy and pasting than I would have done before. Right, so I'm trying to work with the audio here, because I've added in a little for the waving sound, and I'm just trying to... It's kind of complicated to lose. I'm kind of getting the hang of it, but I'm I'm struggling a little bit with, like, the clipping up little bit of it, if that makes sense. And I'm not... Essentially, what I want to do is kind of, like, cut it up into, like... Oh, wait, there's the split button. Yeah, okay, so then I'll just delete that. What I want to do is, like, split it up into little bits and, like, combine them together, so it's like a while they're waving, like a combined sound, but it's not... That's not really working. Oh. I have no idea why I just did that. So I want to just, like... Wait, what? Oh, that's weird. What? Okay. What's happening here? My final little note on this is, yeah, after testing out the audio thing, I'm fairly confused and I don't really know how to use it. So, luckily, I did have quite a few, like, projects that were in, like, the old version of flipa-clip, so I will still be able to use that if I just reuse those files again and again, like, forever, audio-wise, or I could just add in the audio, later or something. I'm not sure. Either way, this has been fun testing, and if you have, I don't know, leave your thoughts on the new update in the comments, I guess. I don't know.